Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell it the truth about silver. Today is Monday the 3rd of January 2022 and we're producing our regular morning update providing prices, news and economic data. Firstly, we hope and trust that all of our members, subscribers and listeners have had an enjoyable Christmas and New Year. And here is looking forward to a much more positive and hopefully healthier 2022. Now each morning update we originally gave a brief description of the weather, but frankly, we were running out of adjectives to describe it, and we did not wish to be repetitive. So instead, we shall start by giving an adjective to describe the news. And this morning, it's cautionary. So let's take a look. Welcome back to our daily morning update, and we have to begin by stating in advance that many countries are still on holiday today, and so any economic or market-related data will have a limited impact until markets generally open tomorrow. With that in mind, let's take a look at the cautionary headlines we see today. Welcome to Illuminati Silver. It's Monday, the 3rd of January 2022 at 10:05 in the morning. As mentioned, the headlines today are cautionary. We kick off with Germany heads towards new pandemic measures as Omicron threatens. We'll also take a look at Turkish inflation climbs to highest since 2002 amid lira woes, perhaps cautioning us as to if we follow a similar investment strategy or monetary strategy, will we find ourselves in a similar position? So, Germany, what's going on there? Germany is contemplating further measures to contain COVID-19 as the Omicron variant threatens to become the dominant strain in the country by mid-January. When Chancellor Olaf Scholz meets with state leaders on Friday to discuss the pandemic, the country could shorten quarantine times to prevent staff shortages in critical services like hospitals and police, according to Health Minister Karl Lauterbach. There are very many questions that need to be settled, and preparations are in full swing. Lauterbach reiterated a call for more citizens to get vaccinated or booster shots, warning that Omicron still represents a significant threat. Despite evidence, it may cause milder symptoms than the Delta variant. Turkish inflation climbs the highest since 2002. Turkish inflation accelerated for a 7th month in December, driven to a 19-year high by a slumping lira and lower borrowing costs. Annual consumer inflation rate rose to 36% last month, the highest since September 2002, and up sharply from 21% in November. The figure was much higher than the 27% medium estimate in a Bloomberg survey of 19 analysts. The acceleration takes Turkey's benchmark interest rate adjusted for inflation to negative 22%, the lowest real yield among emerging markets. Retail price inflation in Istanbul, Turkey's business capital, climbed to 34% last month from 24% in November. The central bank will hold its next rate-setting meeting on January the 20th. Turkey's decision to slash 5 percentage points off the central bank's benchmark rate since September has led to a slump in the lira, which has depreciated around 44% against the dollar last year, the worst among all major currencies tracked by Bloomberg. Which is why you can see countries around the world are looking at raising rates rather than lowering them. Let's have a look at BBC Business News. Generally, COVID staff shortages set to continue into New Year. Debt-laden Evergrande suspends shares in Hong Kong. We'll take a quick look at that because that may affect equity markets tomorrow particularly. Top US phone firms reject call to delay 5G rollout. Workplaces told to plan for absences of up to 25%. Tory MPs and peers urge the Prime Minister to act on energy bills, which are expected to go through the roof. Now looking at Evergrande. Crisis hit Chinese real estate giant Evergrande has suspended trade in its shares in Hong Kong as investors await news on its restructuring plan. The statement to the stock exchange did not give a reason for the trading halt. Evergrande has more than $300 billion of debt and is scrambling to raise cash by selling assets and shares to repay suppliers and creditors. Last week, the company dialed back plans to repay investors in its wealth management products. Evergrande said on Friday that each investor in its wealth management product could expect to receive $1,257 each month as principal payment for 3 months, irrespective of when the investment matures. What will be the knock-on effects? Have the markets already taken this into account? We shall wait and see. US news. 2 people remain missing after Colorado wildfire. US flight cancellations hit new holiday peak. And Twitter bans Marjorie Taylor Greene for COVID post. Let's take a look at the figures. Oil prices, the market is trading. WTI crude up $1 and Brent crude just over $1 at $76 and $78 respectively. Equity markets, now a limited number, are running today. We have Asia Pacific markets. The only one operating is the Hang Seng Index, and that's down 122 points, or 0.5%. And in Europe, we have the Euro Stoxx Index, the DAX and the CAC running, but we in the UK are on a bank holiday, and our equity market, the FTSE 100 Index, is not running. But broadly, the markets are up between 0.5% and 1%. And looking at the economic data to be announced by the United States this week, it is quite a busy week. And today we have the market manufacturing PMI for December and construction spending for November. Tomorrow we have the ISM manufacturing index and job openings and quits. And then we start to come into the really important data in terms of how it may affect the dollar and gold and silver prices. Various employment reports, ADP Wednesday, jobless claims Thursday, and the very important non-farm payrolls on Friday. A lot of data coming out this week. Gold prices this morning down a little. $3.83 at $1,825, or basically $1,826. Silver markets also down 8 cents at $23.25. We did get an initial blip up, which is what we expected. We did, in truth, expect that to hold, really, but we can see that the dollar index is up this morning by 0.11 at 95.78. So that has had a slight dampening effect on precious metals. Cryptocurrency market down 0.25%, 2.24 trillion market capitalization, with Bitcoin down roughly 1% over the last 24 hours, just under the $47,000 level. Now, before we go, just a reminder, we published a few videos over the last week. In truth, we've had only moderate viewership on these. Maybe it's to do with our SEO, I'm not quite sure. But yesterday we published industrial and overall demand for silver higher than expected in 2021. Bodes well for 2022. Some people are asking why we're looking at what happened in 2021. Well, the point is that the Silver Institute will publish its formal report for the year in a couple of months' time. When it does that, it does tend to have an effect on price on that announcement. And what we're showing in this video is that there may actually be quite a positive trait when those figures are finalized in terms of how well the actual physical buying of silver has proven to be. And of course, on the weekend, we published our weekly update. But also a range of videos towards the end of last week. Gold and silver rise on the last day of 2021, but it might be worth looking at what other people are forecasting for gold and silver prices. In these videos, is silver a good investment in 2022? Is 26.50 the highest silver will reach in 2022? Will gold outperform 2021 in 2022? And finally, is silver heading for $30 or $17 next? And we've put links to all of these below. because if you haven't been notified of them, at least you have a chance of having easy access via those links. Thank you so much for listening. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press that bell sign so you are notified of the videos. Until tomorrow, have a great day, and those still on holiday, chill for the next 24 hours. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.